The landscape of media has changed. At one point in time, there was nothing but newspapers. Then there was the TV news. But now, everybody's online, telling this and telling that, giving information, misinformation, misguiding people. So I guess I got to change with the time because everybody has. And welcome back to Everybody Has a
podcast.
And postseason basketball in high school has started up. I think nobody cares about the NBA All-Star Weekend. Apparently, nobody showed up to that. So we'll talk real basketball, high school, and ladies first. I got a chance to watch the regular season come to an end. I think officially everything had to be in the books by Wednesday, so they can have 24 hours to rest and then start up the postseason Friday and Saturday across the area. So a lot of teams have to play play-in games, and at the higher seed, then they go to the satellite site to play the district tournament. And in the case of, we covered District 15 3A, that will be at Fayette Ware starting over the weekend and then going into the early part of the week. So who's going to make it? The top four teams make it. Typically they play the semis and then a consolation game and a championship game. So that's how that breaks down. But as I watched the regular season comes in, Germantown went there to see Mumford to see how they were progressing in 4A. And 4A is tough. It is what it is. That's the biggest classification in the state of Tennessee. The best teams, the more high quality level players will be on those teams and spread out. And Mumford girls, who've been a solid competitor in their league all year, it's tough to compete with Houston and Bartlett, did pull out a win over Germantown. Germantown played them better. So they were getting better in the process. Then, as I checked the scores, I saw that Arlington was able to best Mumford to put them out. So, at a close, competitive 42-38 game. So that Mumford team, which was, adjusting with talent, the lineup looked a little different. So, that's the thing about basketball seasons. Injuries, players, sometimes don't finish the season for whatever reason. I don't want to use that Q word, but it happens, especially in this day and age. It's happening way too often. What do you think about that? Just like a lot of players don't, finish the seasons. They leave programs and not watch it develop to its height. It was happening while you were in high school at Millington. You've seen players with Coach Gates start with him and then go somewhere else. How do you feel about stuff like that?
I really feel like it really represents how they're raised, in my opinion. Because if you were raised in stability and loyalty, you are willing to ride that till the wheels fall off. Your team might be a hot mess, but you're still going to be on that team regardless because you care about the people you're with. You created a bond with these people. You know these people. And you want to be able to, help that team win. So when you leave, that means you don't care about nobody and you're making a selfish decision.
A lot of times it's not the kid.
And it's not the kid. And that's why it does reflect the parents. Because if the parents making their child leave, that's kind of hurtful. These kids made memories with their teammates, bonds, all this stuff, and now you're going to move them to another school and they have to start all over again, especially if it's their senior year.
Yeah.
It's like a robbery.
Well, that what makes what we saw Friday night at Bolton so special, with the Lady Trojans picking up a big win to advance to make it to Fayette, where when they ran off the court with that joy, seeing those girls that stayed after all that, turnover from last year's team, and a lot of girls sat on the bench because they had so many star players out there on the court. They were patient waiting their turn, and then Coach Reed comes in, works with them, builds from within. So we see Ware, we see Layla, we see Alyssa, we see Alexis. All of them start to just mature. Johnson coming along. Kennedy, she's number 14. She came along, and for them to have their moment. Williamson. So to see them have a winning moment to validate their season, to now they qualify for regionals. It was special, and I saw Coach light up a little bit once they picked up that win. They knew they were going to beat Bolton to secure a spot. So to see it grow within, and a lot of those kids, I think it's only 2 seniors on the team, Alexis and another young lady. So the rest of them can come back and get even better and build something from within. So I hope they're willing to take on that challenge. And hey, this season's not over. They still might.
I hope they're willing to play basketball. I hope they're willing to actually shoot the ball and not throwing it up and praying it goes in. Okay, that's why I said what I said about girls basketball last time. If you shoot the ball, you'll be entertaining. People want to watch it. You can shoot good, but you just throw it up and start and pray. That's not how it works. You don't throw the ball up. You shoot the ball. Please stop missing layups and stop falling on the ground every 2 seconds. Okay, just shoot the ball. Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, ladies, I got your back with these highlights. It's going to make it look like you make shots all the time, that you can make your layups. And they're going to think she's talking crazy. But I do have to back up my daughter here. She's right. I seen, girls basketball go from Jasmine Newsom and Leticia McLaughlin, great shooters and targets and stuff like that, with Olivia Maddox and so many other amazing players, to now even the best players get into little spells where they're just throwing it up. But
it's not your first time picking up a basketball. Act like it.
Well, as you look at these highlights, you can tell that they can score when they need to. So enjoy. And welcome back, and we're here with our second segment, recap time, and I'm going to talk a little wrestling as the competitors went up to state this past weekend, and also boys basketball. So Millington Wrestling sent 13 in total, 1 girl, 12 boys, which is a record for the school. Derek Bolden, the young man that we saw in the highlights last week, that manhandled that one kid, 3 sectional championships. He's going to go down as one of the best, up there with Jeremiah Trundle, Brian the Law Hall, who are 2 of the great Trojan wrestlers of all time. He's going to definitely put himself in that upper echelon with Tincher and all the rest of them. And even, what was the guy's name? Yarborough and Milton, and it was the other.
Wooten?
The Wooten boys, yeah. So don't want to leave them out. Wrestling, I think the most disciplined sport right next to track, where it's the individual element, but you still have the team aspect. So you have bonding, but you go out there and compete. It's just you on that mat. It's just you on that track. It's you in that high jump pit. It's just you and the team points. So that's why I think both those sports are so amazing. You're accountable for others, but you go out there and you have to be your best. So in wrestling, the discipline with the weight and the requirements, that's why a lot of young men left Franklin, Tennessee this past weekend and went straight to a buffet and enjoyed themselves. So kudos to all y'all who reached state. Amazing job. To congratulate all the state champions and the sets that we have here in our area, and you get to read all about it in this upcoming week's Millington Star and on millington-news.com. Now hoops. We holding on to our basketball teams, our boys team as best as we can. We watched Millington take a tough loss to Bolton. Mr. Rashad Macklin, number 11. If you didn't know who he was, you knew him as number 11 by the end of the night. Very versatile player. He showed out. against Millington and did his thing to help Bolton advance.
I feel like he was D1 material. Maybe that's a little bit glazed, but I feel like he was probably D1.
Was it the reverse dunk?
No, it was just the fact that 90% of his shots went in, no matter where he was on the court. It was going in, and he was obviously their go-to guy. So I think that's what.
And Millington was missing their go-to guy with Dye being out with his injury. So one more last adjustment. They were very competitive there in their first half, and Bolton just put a trap on them, and that was
Millington was. You could see the potential in Millington. Because most of the guys, especially, they decided to do freshmen first, where they put all their new guys out there except for one.
Daryl McDonald, the senior.
And even the freshmen could, kind of hold their own a little bit. So Millington has potential. There were some players that I feel like were playing passive. Mr. Nick, number
Massey.
1. Yeah, Massey. I feel like he was very passive that game. It was like they hit the ball out of his hand. It's like, well, they got it. I'm not going after it. And I feel like that really kind of set them back a lot of the time because it was just so many turnovers.
Yeah, well, maybe he just has to learn how to play with the control and self-control because he's a very talented player. But he's like the old saying that Coach Krzyzewski, Coach K of Duke, used to say, with a great player, they're like a fire. You can use them to heat up the building, or you can use them to burn down the building. So Nick, once he learns how to heat up the building, he's going to be a phenomenal player. But both our Brighton teams are out. The girls lost to Fairwear, the boys lost to Covington. So we get to go see our board, Coach Buford and Coach Gatlin, see, if they can make a little run. They known for turning it on at the right time. They might be that dark horse team that we were talking about. The Covington girls are the favorites in the girls, but now Millington's in position, girls, to try to compete with them. And we got to check up on TRA and all that good stuff. So.
The girls ain't going.
Well,
let's not talk about that.
But they're going to regionals at least. So
we'll see how far.
If you got to put on a uniform, you got a chance. So they don't play it on paper. They don't play it on the computer.
We've seen how that Covington Millington game went. Okay.
Okay.
As long as they, maybe if they play a little more gumption, maybe they can get farther.
Okay. Well, hey, that's why we got to get up and go out there to Fed or the warehouses, they like to call it, and check out, see what's going on. And check out these highlights from Mumford Germantown boys and Bolton Millington boys.
You have converted me and you don't even know it. Like, trap rose on the beat.
And welcome back. It's time for Sights and Sounds. This is where we change it up a little bit. You had a topic in mind?
No, I wanted to talk about like our childhood shows that we watched.
I'm trying to act like I don't.
Sitcoms.
I'm trying to act like I don't know, but y'all read the thumbnail and y'all seen the thumbnail and read the title. So, okay, so we're talking sitcoms.
Yes.
What about?
I don't know. I just wanted to talk about, what I grew up watching versus what you grew up watching as a kid.
Oh, is it because that I showed you that short from the Cosby Show when Theo was called Teddy? And it's like in the first, I think the pilot episode, like they were testing out.
No, I think it's because you like to, I don't know how to say it. You like to just like show me the stuff that you watched as a kid. And I'm kind of like, I guess this is entertaining.
And I make a lot of references.
And when I show the stuff that I watched as a kid, you're kind of like, what is this crap, So I feel like what we grew up watching as kids were like totally different. You know what I'm saying? We as Gen Z, we had like Good Luck Charlie, Jessie, iCarly, Victoria. I forgot what it's called. Victoria.
Wow, see, this how much this stuff sucks.
It's because we had, and then Sam and Cat and.
Okay,
all that stuff.
So you're welcome. We paid away with Saved by the Bell, where a kids show with real people.
Okay.
So it started off as Good Morning Miss Bliss, and then it matured into Saved by the Bell, where it's just a goofy premise, have fun at school, friends, and all that kind of stuff. It tossed a little love in there, and so that formula. Then we had California Dreams. Hang Time.
Facts of Life.
No. See, we talking about kids shows with real
Facts
people.
of Life isn't a kid show.
Okay, Mrs. Garrett was the premise.
There was literally kids on the show.
But Mrs. Garrett was the premise of the spinoff from Different Strokes.
Okay.
So, Mrs. Garrett, so it was kind of like, and the way it started, had too many girls. Then they cut it down to core 4: Joe, Blair, Natalie, and Tootie. So, but it was prime time at night. So it wasn't like a daytime show. So I would grow up watching cartoons on Saturday morning. Then all of a sudden, this Zach Morris guy came into my life. And at first I wanted him to go away. But then I was like, okay, he can say he's cool. Punky Brewster, we had that. So those were the predecessors. But we had primetime sitcoms, and then we had, I guess, daytime sitcoms as well, too.
I think the one thing we had in common with our child shows is that there were always going to be one serious episode.
Oh, yeah.
It was always going to be like, maybe there's like a bullying episode and someone's called a dirty. I mean,
well,
someone's just called something and then they're like, bullying's wrong and stuff like that.
Well, we had an episode in primetime with Different Strokes that talked about PDF files. The famous, the infamous Mr. Bicycle Man episode. We got deep. We touched on drugs, alcoholism, and all that kind of stuff. I guess they thought we could handle it. I don't know if we could.
No, Disney. I don't think Disney really got anything deeper than bullying.
Yeah, that's
like I think now maybe we get to the the self deletion because that's common for my generation, but. Not in Disney and stuff like that. We mainly focused on like bullying, stealing, stuff like that. That's as serious as it got for us.
We went down in folklore with "I'm so excited."
Oh my goodness.
I'm so excited. I'm so scared. With Jessie, they wanted her to be taking amphetamines or speed, but the people at FCC like no, So they gave her caffeine pills. I take caffeine pills every day now to have energy and wake up so I can go work out. And every time I take them, I do a tribute to Jessie Spanner. Because I'm like, I'm not supposed to be taking these big old fat caffeine pills. And I chase it with coffee. Yeah, that's what I do. Man, that's why I'm so wired right now.
It's dangerous.
But yeah, so
be careful.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. Right off the top of your head, favorite sitcom of all time? Situational comedy. Yeah, situational comedy.
I don't know. I really don't know. Because, like, the stuff that's, like, I don't know what's really constituted as a sitcom,
Situational comedy. You can have little elements of drama in it, but it's a situational comedy.
I guess Good Luck Charlie. I don't know. Is that really a sitcom? I guess. I think it's a sitcom.
Situations.
Well, I feel like sitcoms are more, like, family-based. You know what I'm saying? Like...
Not necessarily. Because my favorite one of all time is not family-based.
Like...
It can be workplace.
Like, what is that show called? Full House. Like that's like that's a sitcom, right?
It's a family sitcom. Yes.
Family
Matters. Family sitcom.
Family Matters, yeah.
So,
I
but
don't know.
Friends, that's not a family. That is an ensemble
They're
cast.
Friends, yeah.
So
I guess I would say like Good Luck Charlie or Wizards of Waverly Place.
okay.
That was a good one.
Right.
I love that one.
Scrubs is my favorite of all time, and that was a workplace comedy. And it's coming back this week. Oh my goodness, so excited. So maybe that's why it was on your heart to talk about sitcom. So to welcome JD, Turk, Carla, Ellie back into my life, Dr. Cox, and all of them. It's just awesome.
Let's see how these left-leaning producers ruin your show. But
Wow. Wow. I hope Bill Lawrence is still writing the show. I hope he still has a pair, and that he can still bring the comedy and touch on those subjects. Now, as we wrap up here, I think the biggest difference from a sitcom from my era to your era today, and I'm talking about from Martin to Living Single, all of these shows that we grew up from the 90s and the 80s, we could get taboo. We could say some things and cross the line, and folks could take a joke. They could take a joke. Y'all can't take a joke. It has neutered y'all comedy so much. I think that's why it's so hard. That's why I do appreciate Abbott Elementary and shows like that.
I would say it just depends because we also like dark humor, but some of us can be very sensitive, you know what I'm saying? So that's why, when the Titan, these people died in nanoseconds, we were talking about, they were controlling the ship with a switch controller or whatever, right? These people died, we should be making jokes about it. But, so it just depends on the situation. Like, we can make dark humor, like, we laugh at dark humor too, but at the same time, it's kind of like, oh no, that's not funny. Like, some of us are sensitive, some of us are not. It's just, most of us are sensitive and most of us are not. We are a flip-floppy generation.
Well, when I show you stuff and I pull up references on YouTube, you will even see where the person that was the target of the joke, they're in on it, they're laughing, or they just roll with it. And man, I miss that time where everybody was subject to get made fun of, and you didn't have to worry about 20, 30 minutes later or 30 years later being canceled.
Yeah.
It was funny in its moment.
Hey, but Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I rest my case.
Well, what you mean? Carlton thing?
With Aunt V. That whole situation with Aunt V.
Talking about the original Leaving?
Yeah, like they had drama with, she basically tried to cancel Will Smith, the original one.
Yeah.
She tried to cancel Will Smith for his workplace drama, so it's not just us.
And he got rid of her.
Drama too.
He got rid of her. We had 3 more good seasons. So yeah, we took care of business back there behind the scenes. You put that ether over their mouth and you drag them off, and then you got back to business. So yeah. So what drama? Thank you. Like Jazz, saying something's changed about you since you had that baby. And the Will's looking at the camera.
The whole complexion.
Yeah. So we handle business in house, even when it was public. So, but I think we can definitely say I wish we get back to old school comedy values. I want to just be able to laugh, and then if I don't like something, I just pick up this thing called a remote and change the channel. And since we're gonna change the channel I got some little extra highlights for y'all to check out from basketball. Look at it.
I told them it was 2 hours, I paid, I y'all know about y'all being, I didn't know the kid. But once I started seeing that kid, I love this kid, because this kid is genuine. This kid is a horse. This kid is more than a horse. This kid is a giant, and probably don't even know it. Kid, you a giant. And Henry's my grandson, but you can ask, I'm always out to eat. Who's that, man? And to everybody understand, see these young kids, one more minute, see these young kids, and don't think that this can be you, you're wrong. This can be you. It don't have to be football, it don't have to be basketball, it don't have to be basketball, it don't have to be no sports. This will be what you learn over here, and what you perfect, and what you want to be, and what you want to do. So at this level, you have to take things real serious. Me, myself, I don't tell people about that. But 8.5 years in prison, I miss it. My kids bringing up. So when you see me up, I'm full of joy because all that behind me. And where I am now, and to me in my life, is way much greater than life can be. And I want you all to pick what you want to be and what you want to do. It ain't up to me. It ain't up to Coach CJ no more. I appreciate Coach CJ. The kids know I love him. Matter of fact, he's like my adopted son. The kid, I'm calling the kid. He know I love him. But what y'all remember, don't put it down. Do not put it down. Do not put it down.
As I said every year, this can't end with me one day. All you have to do is believe the first within yourself, put in the work, and watch the results manifest. So again, I thank you all for coming out. Again, we celebrate these young beings, and once Wildcat out, we're Wildcat.
Oh, okay, we're back, and that wasn't basketball highlights. Signings? I did have a couple signings this week with Stephen Kemp out there at Mumford and Carson up there at Brighton. So two baseball players who heading off to the next level. Congratulations to them. And I got way more signings coming up. The principals are sending me stuff for my schedule. Kylan Sharp at Mumford football plays heading off to Henderson State. We got a couple more signings at Brighton. So it's that time of year when February and March and spring gets here, the kids want to secure their futures. And then we're going to honor the Mumford Cougar football team as our Power 10 champions. You know, you've been with us since the beginning. You heard. So we finally got the award ready. We're going to get out there to Coach Calhoun and present this to him and catch up with him and see how the future's looking for the Mumford Cougar football team. So, and then everybody's top 10 is coming in. Brighton announced their top 10. Make sure you check that out on our social media and in the newspaper coming up. They honor their top 10 students. Mumford announced theirs recently. TRA will be coming up, and then March 6th. I'll be heading to your old stomping grounds to find out who's the top 10 and who shall be in the Hall of Fame for the class of 2026. So, you know, you still think that you should have been in the Hall of Fame for the class of 21, but yeah, it's a good thought that you had in your heart. But what are some of your closing thoughts? I know when I'm busy, you're pretty busy too as well. You're catching up with a lot of stuff, so in the community and all that kind of stuff. So what's on your mind to close out?
I don't really have much.
Okay, so
other than, I want Millington to be better. Make Millington great again.
okay, well,
That's what I want.
Okay. Softball and baseball's coming up. Are you gonna be mean to them too?
Yes.
Well,
not baseball because I kind of have
a soft spot.
No, I have not so high expectations for baseball.
Coach Dooley, we apologize.
Softball, yeah, I have high expectations for softball. Miss Katie Graves, she's gonna be pitching again, and
Junior.
Okay. I love Miss Katie, and I want to see her do well, and I want the softball girls to do well too. So.
Well, they made it to sectionals last year, and started off with a bang. Had an early lead, then it got away from them. So I think Coach Craddock, she has high expectations and everything. So she wants to, she's built this program up to a very respectable program. So she's ready to take that next level and then to be playing in the Elite 8 tournament, the final 8 teams in the state. So
softball is a little more entertaining than baseball, honestly.
I would agree with that. Even baseball players know that.
It's quicker,
More compact. And you're not fearful of a ball coming off the bat and hitting you in the head.
And also dugout cheers. I love the dugout cheers.
Baseball has them too.
Especially TRA.
Yeah, and especially
I'm really looking forward to see TRA.
And they're moving back into their old
baseball
league.
And softball.
And the girls move back into their old league, so they're going back into the league with the friendships and all those. They leaving St. Benedict and all that behind. They had a nice little run there, made the state a couple times, but now they're going back to their natural league. So,
I'm hoping they can the young lady that signed for softball. I'm hoping that they can keep her word.
Laney,
that they can go all the way, and I really want to see that.
And what Lola wants.
Lola gets.
Okay, so
and the thing is, I feel like TRA just known softball wise to go to state. So every year that I've ever been to state, they've always been there. So I'm hoping they can do it again.
They're overdue for one. And then Mumford made it to state a couple years ago, and they took a year to rebuild. They want to do some damage.
Really good.
And my girl Gracie, the redheaded with the peanut butter cake, I think she's a junior this year, so a big bat. Brighton.
Everybody just grows up so fast.
Yeah, and then Maddie Kate, who I covered winning the state championship with TRA, is the head coach at Brighton. They won a championship last year, but then very disappointing year for them, and she didn't like that. It left a bitter taste in her mouth. So they're going to be ready to come out with a vengeance. Coach Heath with Brighton baseball. They had, like I said, Carson. He signed, and now he's going to lean on his small senior group. But we saw when Brighton does that, they can go off to do some special things. We that special run that Logan went on.
I think Tipton County is going to go crazy. I think Tipton County is going to.
But just like this, stop me if you heard this before. Mumford has moved up to 4A. Now their baseball team and softball teams have to deal with that. So softball, I think they could be the class of it, but baseball, who went to the state championship game last year, state runner-up. This is what they had to contend with. Only 2 teams make it out. So stick with me. Arlington, a state champion in recent years. Bartlett, a state champion in 2007. The late Coach Phil Clark had that program in a great position. Collierville. Yes, this is all in their league. Oh, I forgot that day kid, Chandler, he played for, what's that school? Houston. So this is Mumford.
Now that I think about it.
Yeah, they only top 2.
This is like a team. This is like a roster full of Goliaths.
Yeah, only the top 2 go. So good luck, Coach Young and the group. But I talked to him this past week, and he said, Thomas, same goal every year. So that's it. And the beautiful thing about baseball is not about who's the biggest and strongest. It's about repetition, who can get hot, and game planning, who gets the breaks. That's the beautiful thing about baseball. You have a chance once you go out there between those lines. So we'll see. It's gonna be fun, and then we can't forget track. And Mr. Dye should be back healthy for Millington.
Dye, Miller, Jones.
Millington track should bring back home the state championship this year. Coach Cochran would not accept anything less. And they know they don't have a pole vaulter, Greenville, but they have everything else. So, and they are loaded. Knock on wood. Stay healthy.
Yes,
and
please stay healthy.
Girls track got some solid athletes. Brighton, I talked to their track coach, so track is going to be fun to watch. Tennis, we'll have some area tennis players that should have some shine. So spring sports. This is my farewell to my friends and family. I love y'all.
And don't forget boys soccer.
That's why I said this is my farewell to my friends and family. I will see y'all, Lord's willing, at the end of May. Just know I'm busy and that I'm covering something. Coach Everson and the soccer team, he said this year's team is ready to do what the team did a couple years ago, because they got that type of talent. So he plans on keeping me busy all season. So I will miss y'all. And hopefully you'll join me for some of this action. But we're about to close out with Liyah's Lens. So all the stuff that we foreshadowing, that Liyah Lens is going to be real busy this spring.
Yes.
You might have a compilation of multiple sports, not just one game. But what do you have for us to close out? Bolton?
Yeah, Bolton, Millington.
And
boys and girls.
And Mr. Macklin, he didn't get his reverse dunk either.
I couldn't get it because the students were very hyped.
They saw it coming.
They're very hyped, and it's hard to
record
when they're standing up with their arms up. And yeah, sadly, I didn't get that dunk.
So hopefully, Mr. Macklin, the thumbnail on the YouTube video of you about to do it, I got the picture. But man, it was an awesome play. Just hope you know it was an awesome play. And but check out the rest of these awesome highlights, and we'll catch y'all next week.
Check 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.